Some images dropped today that seem to be no surprise to anyone that this would be coming sooner or later, but at the same time is much appreciated because of the, I guess we could call it, difficulty of how we could get this character in any shape or form throughout its years. In Demand Toys today dropped its first images of what is going to be the next Generations Selects Hasbro Pulse release, and it is that of the Voyager class Artfire. For people who aren't familiar with the character of Artfire, he dates all the way back to the days of 1987's Headmaster's Japanese exclusive line. He was a repaint of the Generation 1 Inferno 1985 mold and was included the Nightstick Targetmaster, which came originally with Cyclonus, gave him a new paint scheme, and we have a Targetmaster character fire truck. This original toy back in 1987 was ridiculously difficult to get, and in the secondary market, even more so. It commanded exuberant amounts of money, very expensive. And unlike his counterpart brother Stepper, which was the Jazz Targetmaster repaint, Artfire never got a reissue. So that made it even more difficult for even collectors who didn't mind owning a reissue of him. And then years and years later, whenever you would see an Inferno-like kind of mold, an Artfire would not be too far behind. And when we got that Classics-esque Universe 2.0 Inferno mold back in, I want to say, was it 2010? The United line and the Japanese side of thing, they did a special mailway release, which was Artfire, using that mold. And this time, Artfire came with two Targetmasters. Came with Sparks, which at the time these Targetmaster molds were being used from the Power Core Combiner line, so it came with Sparks, and it came with Nightstick. So pretty cool stuff. Again, that white and red kind of repaint happened. And then, of course, in 2017, I remember this was right on my birthday, they released the Masterpiece Artfire, again, coming from the Masterpiece Inferno. So there was always this lineage of Japan releasing these Artfire repaints whenever a good Inferno mold came out. So it was no surprise when we got Kingdom Inferno that sooner or later we would get some kind of Artfire repaint. The only difference this time around is this is the first time that a Artfire mold will be easily available to the Western audience. All of the ones I mentioned previously, starting from the beginning with United and Masterpiece, were all Japanese and Pacific Rim releases. So very difficult to get otherwise, and pricey, because the United one was a mailway exclusive, and getting it through a secondary market kind of thing was pricey. Masterpiece was pricey. So this is also not only going to be the first ever Western release of Artfire proper, but it'll also probably be the cheapest, as long as this thing doesn't sell out and becomes difficult. Now let's talk about the figure itself. So it's a repaint of the Kingdom Inferno, like I said. It matches the colors quite well. They did a very good job of matching up all the little fine details based off of the original 1987 Artfire release, right down to the gray wings on the back matching like the original, the way that the paint on the toes matched the white too. It's a very unique kind of repaint, really based on the gang molding of the original toy and what was plastic and what was die cast back then. So they managed to maintain that same kind of, I guess we could call it, spirit that happened with that original Takara 1987 Headmaster's release. The only thing that I have interesting questions about here is the choice in Targetmaster partner. Now, they label this partner as Nightstick, but they're using the Siege Singe mold, which is a double cannon kind of character. Now, I would understand if they called this Sparks, because, I mean, historically, this character came with Nightstick, and Nightstick was a single-barrel Targetmaster character. And if they wanted to use a single-barrel Battlemaster mold from Siege, the character of Blowpipe would have been a great choice. Blowpipe was that light blue, gray War for Cybertron Siege Battlemaster. So I think they should have used that mold and make that Nightstick. What I think happened was there might have been a confusion because in the United version of the character, which historically was a footnote, it was just that repaint. When they gave him those 2 Targetmasters that came with it, they gave him Sparks, which was a repaint of Power Core Pinpointer, which had 2 barrels. And then they gave him Nightstick, which was a repaint of the Universe Nightstick that came with Cyclonus. So I think there might have been a mistake somewhere at some point. Unless they're trying to homage the Sparks character, but then they called it Nightstick. I don't know. That's just me nitpicking. I personally feel I think they should have taken the blowpipe mold and made that the Nightstick character to go with Artfire for more, I guess, a visual accuracy. But I think they wanted to just have something where they could put a whole bunch of extra energy accessories and have 2 instead of just 1, because that's also some of the extra stuff that it comes with. He comes with 2 energy blast accessories in light blue, and then 2 more in light blue, but a different kind of shape. And the whole point of those are, I guess, because the 2 energy accessories that are in light blue that are more spindly, those were 2 that came with the original Siege Fire Drive, and then the other 2 came with the original Siege Aimless, now done in blue, I guess. And I guess they just wanted to include more, and if they would have used the blowpipe, it would have been just 1 accessory, and maybe they felt there'd be less pieces included with this. Either way, still looks great. Just a little nitpick on the Targetmaster buddy. I always kind of like to have a perfect package when it comes to the aesthetic and the look and even the shape. But either way, great opportunity for a lot of people. It's going to give them a chance to pick up, again, this rare 1987 character. And, I mean, we still never got that reissue from the Encore line or Bookbox Takara reissues or the commemorative series or even Hasbro's Retro Vintage. So this is probably about as close as it's going to get for now. And for some people, it'll be better because you get the crazy articulation and the modern engineering of a Kingdom mold. So this is awesome stuff. We don't have a price yet, but I'm pretty sure, I get a feeling that these images are going to be a strong indication of what we're going to be learning about this Friday, because Hasbro announced on their Instagram for both Hasbro Pulse and for the Transformers Instagram that this Friday, May 21st, will be a Fan First Friday. We're going to get more information all about that, and probably he will be one of the releases and one of the items that will go up for sale for Hasbro Pulse this Friday. We'll get more information when that time comes. I know Friday we'll cover everything and we'll get all the deep information and stuff. But let me know what you think about this. As it stands right now, that pretty much just leaves, hey, are we going to get Road Hauler at some point, aka the original Hauler in his Constructicon colors from Grapple? That will still need to be seen. But probably is going to be yet another repaint in the future. Again, that's the whole point of Generation Selects, is to do those off-kilter and bizarre repaints and obscure stuff, which a lot of us hardcore fans enjoy. So let me know what you think. Is this hype for you? I'm excited about it. He looks really good.